we think about the different fertilizer categories, you have potassium, nitrogen, and phosphate. Potassium is the one in the United States where we import the most of it. We import about 97% of the potassium we use in the United States. But the vast majority of that, 85%, comes from Canada. Only a very small amount, 2%, comes from Israel, which obviously involved in the conflict. On the nitrogen side, it's only about 18% of the US nitrogen use is imported. A larger percent of that, though, is from the Middle East, 9% from Qatar, and 7% from Saudi Arabia. And then on the phosphate side, we only import about 13% of our phosphate use in the United States, but a much bigger portion of that comes from the Middle East. So about 40% of our imported phosphate comes from Saudi Arabia, 12% from Israel, 8% from Egypt, and 5% from Jordan. So overall, we're not as reliant on this region as a China or Brazil are, but there is still a portion of our need that was linked to those countries. So there is some direct impact to us, but our guys are going to be more impacted by the ripple effects from increased prices because other countries can't get it than they are, not able to access the supply they usually access. Yeah, so I mean, as a lot of folks have probably been seeing just at the gas pump, the diesel prices, and even to a lesser extent still, though, the fertilizer prices move quite rapidly, even as we hear, the strait is closed, strait is open, the strait is closed. Those markets react, so the prices react more quickly. But in terms of how fluid the freight system is, that's going to take weeks to months to get back into normal order. I will say because of the COVID-19 disruptions that we had, and we had a lot of congestion across the West Coast, a lot of our import-export companies and the broader shipping industry has gotten a little bit more nimble and flexible in moving containers and ships around the country and being a little bit more flexible and being able to bounce back more quickly. So I think we're in better shape at dealing with these disruptions than we were before the COVID pandemic, but it's still going to take weeks to months to figure out and get things back to normal. And we still don't really have eyesight on when things might end with each day and each hour we're getting sort of a different readout from the region.